All right, so today I took a little ride over here to Cisco, Texas. It is on the I-20 corridor between Abilene and Weatherford, about halfway between those two. Right now, I'm standing in an alleyway where there was a gunfight and some things of that nature. On December 23rd of 1927, around 12 o'clock, three men, Marshall Ratliff, Henry Helms, wait for that truck, and Robert Hill, all a bunch of ex-cons out cruising around looking for banks to rob, stopped here in Cisco and decided they'd rob this bank. I'm not going to get into the specifics of all of this, but this group of guys was not a bunch of winners. This was a comedy of errors. It was Christmas time, and the guy went in dressed as Santa Claus, one of them, and they held some hostages in the bank, and there was a shootout, and they tried to jack somebody's car. They gave them the car but not the keys. It's just a whole debacle. Anyway, this is the bank right here. That's not the way it looked then, but that's the way it looks now. Now this is the front of the bank. Like I said, it's not the same front, but it's the same building. And when they finally decided, when they went out with their hostages, their getaway car was out here in this alley, and they came out the back door. The back door was located right here where this window is. This used to be the back door. I don't know if you can see that or not. But you can see the outline of where the door was. Anyway, they had their getaway car out here. Back here, the police started shooting at them, and they were all injured. I believe all the hostages were injured. And their getaway car was parked about right here where I'm standing. And this is just a foundation of a building here. So they had to go all the way down here with the townspeople. At this time, Texas was getting robbed. Banks were getting robbed left and right. And a mob of people had come out to attack the robbers. And yeah, they had a whole bunch of people with them, and they were shooting, and the townspeople were shooting, the cops were shooting, everybody was shooting. Anyway, they would have exited right here at this corner. I don't know which way they went. So after they left here, like I said, they ran out of gas, and they tried to jack a family. Well, they did jack a family for the car, and the family got out of the car, and they gave them the car but no keys. So those guys, they ended up in another firefight. So after that, like I said, I'm not going to get into all the details. You can look this up, the Cisco, Texas Santa Claus robbery. The way it ended up is one of them was executed because he killed some of the law enforcement. One of them did his term in prison, and I believe he paroled and lived his life. And one of them was the victim of the last public lynching in the state of Texas. Also the subject of the largest manhunt in the state of Texas. That happened over in Eastland, which is not very far from here. If I get a chance, I'm gonna run over. Anyway, I just thought this would be a cool little place if y'all want to There's also Red Gap Brewing. Red Gap is what Cisco was called before it was Cisco. So yeah, if you want to stop and check it out, have you a beer and a burger at Red Gap Brewing, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to get over to Eastland. We'll see what happens. This is the courthouse they brought him to. At the time they had jails in here, and this guy escaped 4 times, and people were getting really restless about him not being hung yet, and so they started gathering outside, and he escaped the last time, and the people, the mob that was outside, got together and they lynched him. They hung him from the nearest power pole. I'm gonna see if I can locate that, and we'll see here in a minute. Alright, so I'm coming up empty-handed on the pole where he was hung. It's around here somewhere. I asked a couple of locals and they didn't have any idea what I was talking about. Or maybe they just don't want that kind of thing on YouTube. Who knows? Anyway, I'm running out of daylight and I got to get home. Y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And I forgot to say, here in Cisco, Texas, this is where Conrad Hilton built the first Hilton hotel. It wasn't called the Hilton, it was called the Conrad. Anyway, just a little interesting bit of trivia.